ahead, Tom. Tom, you're muted.
There we go. Bill, got me?
We got you, Tom.
Sorry, man. Sorry, Bill. Just a question about, you have such a presence year in, year out for, your entire career with fans at camp and the element of the interaction that exists. How different will it be this year to perhaps capture the energy that the fans bring by their presence when they're there? And is there anything that's maybe missing a little bit because of that?
Yeah, well, Tom, that's all out of our control. So we're going to try to focus on the things that we can control. And certainly we have a lot of practices throughout the course of the year where there aren't fans there. So I don't think that's something the team is unaccustomed to, or actually we are accustomed to it. So we'll control the things that we can control, and the things we can't control, we're not going to worry about.
Next question is Yanni Caracas, followed by Zach Cox.
Hey, Bill, without having the benefit of preseason games this year, how will you change the approach to camp to create situations where maybe you can better figure out a game situation when deciding on if a guy is going to make a roster without having a true game situation in preseason games?
Yeah, well, Yanni, we'll have to create those. And so as we get to different points in camp, depending on what we're ready for, what we're able to, what we have installed, what situations we're ready for, then we'll have to create those situations, practice them against ourselves or practice them against a simulated opponent. We work against ourselves. We do what we do, but that may not be what everybody else does. And so we would have to, create that. There are other ways we can work on those situations, but ultimately we're going to have to go out there and do them against ourselves. So that was one of the advantages of practicing with another team. When we didn't practice with another team, then it was the same situation. Even though they're preseason games, the fact of the matter is that, with a minute to go in the game, the players who are going to be doing that in the regular season generally weren't on the field anyway for that situation. So without the joint practices, which, again, sometimes we've had, sometimes we haven't, but then we'd have to create those situations ourselves and coach them and evaluate them and all the things that go with them. So that's where we are this year.
Next question, Zach Cox, followed by Ben Volen.
Hey, Bill. With practice squads expanding this year and with teams now being able to have players with unlimited levels of experience on practice squads, I'm just curious whether that or how that changes the way you evaluate your roster this summer, if at all.
Well, it's certainly something that we're aware of, and I think it's part of the conversation. But again, those players have to pass through waivers to get to your practice squad, and they're also, even if they're not claimed, they still have the opportunity to go somewhere else. So I think some of that's going to depend on not only who you want on your practice squad, but also who you can get on your practice squad. So whether that's you getting a player from another team or another team getting a player that you have, since the setup's a little bit differently this year, we'll have to see how all that works out. So you may want to have a player on your practice squad, but if he feels he has a better opportunity somewhere else, you might lose that player, or vice versa. So I think some of that is going to be determined by the final roster makeup and what areas you kind of have on your roster, and maybe what areas you don't have as much depth at. And I would think that teams would want to carry players on their practice squad to balance out that depth. But that would vary from team to team. And again, I'm sure there'll be players that will evaluate different teams situations, and so be a little bit like free agency for the practice squad.
Next question, Ben Volin, followed by Phil Perry. Go ahead, Ben.
Good morning, Bill. You guys are one of just a handful of teams that hasn't had to place anyone on the COVID IR yet. And I'm just curious, is that a testament to how hard guys, how seriously guys are taking things now, but also how seriously they took things before they arrived? And was there a lot of work maybe put in by the team in this area?
Yeah, absolutely, Ben. I think that the team and the organization have addressed this very professionally, strictly, and we've changed quite a bit as more information or different techniques or products or whatever have become available, or our information has changed. So we've been very fluid with this. The players have done a great job of following protocols, and we've also had a lot of great feedback from the players on things, that suggestions, because seeing it from an organizational point of view or a coach's point of view is one thing, but when you're a player, you see what you do on a daily basis maybe a little bit differently, and so their feedback has been great, and we've made quite a few, or I'd say several modifications to our protocols and programs because of them, or suggestions that they've made, or concerns that they've raised. So I think we're working together, but we got a long way to go. We'll see, but it's constantly evolving, and I'm sure that we'll have a lot more discussions and situations that we're gonna have to deal with going forward. We get into things like traveling and things like that. So we're not there yet, but we still got a full plate right now, but eventually we're gonna have to deal with other factors as well.
Next question, Phil Perry, followed by Dave Brown.
Thanks, Stacy. Bill, I'm sort of piggybacking off of Ben's question there, and mine is equipment related. I'm not sure how much you've even thought about this or how many of your players are wearing these, but I know the Oakley face shields are something that can be in play now for players, and I'm just curious how you've seen those function, if your players have been wearing them. Have they created any delays at all? Are they falling off? Are they fogging up? Or if your team has used them, how have you seen them in terms of their effectiveness?
Right. Well, we brought that up to the players, quite some time ago. We actually we started working on it back in May, before even the Oakley Shield was available, and doing research on it and so forth. So, the players are aware of it's an optional piece of equipment. All the players are aware of it. All the players have been given the opportunity to work with it during those first 9 days of let's call it phase one, or 8 days of phase one, and then in phase two, so the last 4 practices. So guys have experimented with it, and we'll see what ultimately their decision is. It's an individual decision, and that they may change based on the experiences. Obviously, we haven't had contact, so there's nothing to evaluate there, but they've run in them and worked out in them and so forth. And I think we have some guys that will wear them. We have some guys that won't, and that may change based on their experiences with them. I think like fogging up and all that falls pretty much into the same category as the eye shield. It's not quite the same because it's a little bit lower, but there are some things you can do. There are some products, but even just like basically snorkeling and skin diving, there's things you can do to prevent or minimize that problem. I don't know if eliminate it's the right word, but there's an airflow and say a comfortability issue, and so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, everybody has them, or they have the option to have them, and then they'll make their individual decisions on that based on their personal preferences.
if I could just really quickly, sorry, did you guys as a team have your own mask, did you say, back in May that?
No, we didn't know what was going to happen, so we looked into those options, extending the eye shield. There were a couple other products out there based on, guys that had injuries, a broken nose, some type of facial injury to help protect it. Similar to what you see in basketball, but it was more of a medical thing as opposed to a for the COVID problem, but anyway, we started looking into that, and if we needed to have a manufacturer do that, ultimately it was all done. But I'm saying we've been on this for quite a while, so it's not it's not anything that came up on us quickly. So
Thanks.
Yep.
And I had a hard stop at E45, guys, so we'll end it there. Thank you very much, Coach.
Great. Okay. Thanks. Appreciate it, Stacey.
How do we inspire people to lead their healthiest lives? How do we bring everyone together so that healthcare finally works for all of us? We know how. We are the how. Optum. How well gets done.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil. Sprinkler pipe. Diane!
Ready or not.
Gillette ProGlide and ProGlide Gel. 5 blades and a pivoting flex ball designed to get virtually every hair on the first stroke while washing away dirt and oil. So you're ready for the day with a clean shave and a clean face.
For over 60 years, this team has transformed itself into a championship organization. For over 160 years, our team has demonstrated a similar mentality. There are no days off. Our front lines are fortified by people who sacrifice individuality for the team. Our shelves are also stocked with the best quality products and ingredients. Our team members know their roles. We're proud to do our jobs. Shaw's, the official supermarket of the 6-time champion New England Patriots.
My Caleb sofa and love seat. With Bob's discount, you get both pieces for just $7.99.
$7.99? Are you joking?
Do I look like I'm joking?
Yes, you look like you're joking.
I'm serious.
Cool.
Get Bob's discount! How do we inspire people to lead their healthiest lives? How do we bring everyone together so that healthcare finally works for all of us? We know how. We are the how. Optum. How well gets done.
What's my retirement savings plan? Oil, baby. Oil. Sprinkler pipe. Diane!